All right, guys, welcome back to the Philadelphia Union podcast, April 21st, 2018. Now, before I talk about this most recent game, let me just talk about the latest signing by the Philadelphia Union and bring in Olivier Baizo. I believe I pronounced that right or close to it. He's a young defender, outside back. He was with the team during preseason, played pretty well. Could deliver a pretty good ball into the box, so they picked him up. Recently signed him to a first-team contract. How much he's going to play, I have no idea. Because I believe he's Cameroonian, and his country mate Ayuk doesn't play either. So I think he's only about 20 years old. Another young player brought into the team. So I don't know how much he figures into the plans this season. We are a little banged up in the back. With Fabinho and now Jack Elliott out too, but again, I'm not sure what Curtin's plan is for him. He could play. There's really got nothing left to lose anymore. With they're playing young guys in the back anyway, so he could get some minutes back there. But I just want to touch on that, and now we'll talk about the game against FC Dallas, which just ended a few moments ago. Here, I just watched the game on ESPN Plus, and yeah, we've been shut out again. 2-0 loss to Dallas. You could tell how frustrated I was last week with the performances, and again, it's just more of the same, guys. We can't finish chances. We're giving up chances in the back. Poor midfield play. Mark McKenzie made his first ever start. He played for the injured Jack Elliott in the center defense, so there's another homegrown player starting. And I thought he was decent. They got through a lot, especially in the first half. They were really picking on our young center backs, Dallas. There was no help for them either way, so it really wasn't their fault all the way. McKenzie had some good recovery challenges and some decent passes. I didn't think he was particularly that bad. I thought Trusty had a bad game. He gave away a penalty, a lot of poor passes, and he looked like he fell asleep on numerous occasions. So not a great game there from the young Trusty. McKenzie was okay. Rosenberry and Gaddis didn't really do much. They weren't at their best either. Again, Dallas was playing those through balls, past our defense all game, and there was no pressure in the midfield. Medunian was horrible again. I'm not picking on him. I'm just saying how it is. He's been horrible the past couple games. I thought he was brilliant his first season last year with us. He got a bunch of assists. I think he had like 11 or 12 of them. And he's just been poor this season. Absolutely poor. Dutch Cal had a shot early on that just fizzed over the bar. That was as close as we got. And other than that, Dutch Cal was pretty poor again. He was visually frustrated. So was Bedoya, I could tell at times. Sapong was, again, not good. A lot of our shots just end up off target. We get shots, but a lot of them are off target. We had, 9 shots in the game? And only 2 of them were on target. It's very poor. And Akam was just another almost invisible game for him here in this one. I don't know when he's going to find that breakthrough. He was subbed off in the 74th minute. Pico, not quite as involved as he was the last game. So, against Orlando, but who was it that had it was Sapong. Sapong had a great chance for a goal on a header, and he just completely missed it. Like, he was wide open in the middle, 6 yards out or whatever, 6 to 8 yards out, and he puts it over the bar. It was just so bad. Like, nothing going offensively for us. And on the bench, they brought in Ilsinho and Corey Burke, who either one really fared into the match too much. Didn't really make an impact. There's no urgency, I felt. It was a poor penalty that they gave away, but I didn't even think it was that bad of a penalty, to be honest. I know Trusty was reaching for the ball with his leg, kind of got around Hedges. Hedges went down really easily. And that you can call that every play on every corner if you want to. I thought it was a pretty weak call, but nonetheless, Diaz stepped up and put it in. And then Urruti's goal, just lazy defense and pressure, and Urruti touched it around Blake, who came out and then put it. I thought Trusty could have blocked the shot too because it was right along the line, and he just didn't slide for it. He just kind of let it go in. And Andre Blake had an outstanding game. He made a bunch of high quality saves in this game, especially in the first half, and he was getting absolutely no. The first half he was basically out there by himself. Again, our possession was going nowhere. We weren't creating anything. Just a lot of more of the same. It's just more of the same. Something's got to change here. It's got to change now. Either you get rid of Curtin, or Curtin changes his tactics, or the owners come in and they switch up some players in the team, or Curtin puts in new players and substitutes players and tries out, brings out guys like Dutch Cow and Medunian and guys that aren't producing, just and a calm even, bring them off the bench, light a fire under him. Sapong's not scoring goals. He's had chances he should have finished this year and he's not. It's just absolutely poor, and they didn't show any heart in this game. It was just like once they went down 1-0, I even felt, even though there was still a half hour left in the game, I felt the game was over. I was watching it. I was like, well, that's the end of the game. And granted, I was right, and they only ended up giving up another goal to boot. They showed very little fight to come back in the game, put some pressure on, but nothing sustained, and just they had one goal waved off because it went out of bounds, which it clearly did. There was a play where that kind of trickled in after some saves by Maurer, and the ball clearly crossed the end line and then back into play before going in. So there's no complaints on that one. Just really poor play overall, again, from the Union. Just showing no real bite to their game. It's so frustrating to watch. They look like they don't care half the time. They're losing fan base every game, it seems like. I'm sticking with them. I love this team, win, lose, or tie, but it's very, very frustrating and disappointing to watch and follow this team when you have an ownership that just doesn't fish out the money, players who don't seem they care, coaching staff that's not changing up anything, no tactics changing, no players changing, no accountability. Again, I talked about that in the last podcast. There is no accountability here. It's just if you don't do well, you're still going to be in there, still going to be having your job, and that goes as low as the players all the way up to the ownership, Sugarman. And it's just there's no accountability here, no urgency. They want to build with youth, okay, but you're hanging them out to dry half the time. The midfield's not helping them out. And these young kids in the back are getting picked on game in, game out now. And they're going to make mistakes, yeah. They have potential, yes, but they're not going to become stellar players right off the bat like this. Not in this kind of environment, not with these kind of results. Not with, the kind of system and the kind of structure we have going right now. This is just, what kind of young player is going to want to be thrown into, a frustratingly piss-poor performance one game after the other. No offense, no drive to try and win games, it doesn't seem. And granted, our offense could just wake up eventually and start, scoring goals, and we might have a chance to win some games and get back in the playoff race because our defense is still decent enough, and we have Andre Blake in net who keeps us in every game that we're playing, more or less. Like, he is enough to keep us in games if we could just give him some help. But we aren't doing that. It's horrible. I've been begging for Ayuk to play, of course, but I'm not going to beg for it this week because it's not going to make a difference because he's not going to play. What I think they should do is be looking at Lee Nguyen, who's just sitting on the Revolution, not playing, not even in the 18. They got to make some calls over to England and be like, hey, we'll give you this for this player or whatever. Try and whatever you have to do to make it happen. Because Lee Nguyen, we know, is a very creative player, and he can sit in that middle. I don't care if Dutch Cow's our number 10. What is he even doing for us right now anyways? Play him out wide. I don't care. Play him up top alongside Sapong. We need Lee Nguyen in that middle. Or give Fontana another shot. Give the kid another shot in there. At least he plays with heart and passion. I can see Dutch Cal wants to do well. He shows a little bit of frustration there, but it's visibly on his face. Like he's getting mad at his teammates. Other teammates get mad at one another because it's just really lazy giveaways. At the in the final third too, and that lead to turnovers, and just our attacks fizzle out as quickly as they begin. So I don't know. I mean, Matthew Real was on the bench for this one. Gaddis stepped in at left back. Gaddis wasn't really able to get forward too much. But again, our side backs didn't really get forward in this game. We showed very little going forward in this one. It was just bad once again. So I don't know what else to talk about, guys. I talked about the signing of Bizo. I talked about the Dallas game. We outpossessed them, I think, Dallas, but just in our own half again, not much going on. It's just poor. We've scored 3 goals in 6 games. 3 goals in 6 games. That's absolutely terrible. 4 of those games have been at home. Our next game, by the way, is at home again, and we're playing DC United. Now, I'd like to think that, that's 3 points for us, but is it? The way we're playing, the way we're showing, the way we don't seem to care, the tactics, no, I don't think it's an easy 3 points at all. DC United might very well go into Philadelphia and beat us in the next game. Or we might end up winning 3-0, and I could be talking about how awesome of a game it was. I don't know. But I don't, we need the floodgates to open. That's what they're going to talk about. Like, what's Curtin going to talk about on the press conferences this week? Is it going to be, we're just waiting for that chance to come, blah, blah, blah. Same stuff as always. We're not getting the bounces, the same crap that he always talks about. No, we're not getting the bounces. We're not creating anything. And our players aren't taking our chances because they aren't good enough. And your coaching tactics are not good enough either. That's what's wrong. Take some accountability on yourself. Crying out loud. When is Curtin going to stand up and say, listen, I'm doing a piss poor job here. I need to change things in order for us to succeed. This loss is on me. No, he doesn't stand up and take accountability for anything. Nobody does. Not with this club. It's just, bounces didn't go our way. We're just waiting for the floodgates to open. Once we start scoring goals, I think we'll be fine. These young kids are going to, they'll be all right. No, like I said, I'm okay with the youth build. I like that, okay? But you need to get the right pieces around them. You need to get them playing well in a system that works and drive results. You can't just say, we'll play our youth and, that's that. No, you need to drive results too. Because like I said, these kids aren't going to get any better when they're just playing in a crappy system like this and losing every game, not even scoring goals. This is just awful. Like, I'm laughing a little bit because this is like the same kind of podcast I did last week. I could be doing it again after the next game. We got DC United next at home. I'm sure it's not going to be sellout. I don't blame the fans for not going. It's probably not going to be a sellout game, and plus it's against a team like DC who don't really, attract a lot of attention from fans. But DC played decent enough defense. They might. It could be 0-0 draw or something. Who knows? Maybe we'll get 1 goal. I don't know. We just need to show a little more fight in there. That's all I'm asking for right now. Accountability, some passion, some fight. Score a freaking goal, for crying out loud. Where's Sapong? Where are these guys? The guys I asked for last week in the podcast at the beginning still aren't showing up in the score sheets anywhere. Yet we keep playing the same players in the same system, same results, same coach, same everything. What do you expect? What do you expect? So, I think that's going to do it for this podcast. A little shorter than the other ones, but it was only just this one game really to talk about and the signing. Hopefully, Philly can wake up and get some goals in the next game against DC United here, guys, and get a win under their belts and try and get back into the playoff race because they're already building a huge hole I know it's maybe a little too optimistic of me at this point, but I still have hope that this team can find their scoring touch. If something can just go away. We need to change something, though. What we're doing isn't going to work. We need to change a little something, at least. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you guys next week in the next podcast. Till next time, everybody. 0 is the number.